Hey guys, what is up? It's Chip here with another video. Today we're going to be playing some Dauntless, and I got some tips for you. These tips are going to be for beginners and mostly on the Gnasher, but most of them do apply to just general gameplay. Okay, so to get started, the first and most important rule is come prepared. I honestly don't understand why anybody would not come prepared, but you definitely don't want to be one of those players. And this means bringing health potions, defense potions, attack potions, flares, just to let your teammates know where you are. I'm going to show you how easy it is to track that and how important that is later in the video. Also, know your combos and your timing. I mean, you guys want to be good players, don't you? Well, learn your combos. If you're getting attacked and you're not using your combos right, you're going to take a lot of damage, you're going to be using your potions a lot, and you're really going to be actually holding your team back. So learn those combos, guys. Also, communicate with your teammates. This includes, like I said, flares, which I'll show you why they're so important later in the video, but I'm telling you, just communicate. Let them know, hey, I'm gathering resources. Let's gather resources really quick. And you'll see some of my teammates in this video do that as well. Okay, so now on to the mission. Okay, guys, so the second tip I have for you is collect resources. I cannot stress this enough, but resources are like the lifeblood of this game. If you do not collect those resources, you're not going to have good armor, you're not going to have potions or anything to help you in the fights, and slowly you will just suffer. So definitely collect resources while you're out. Let your teammates know when you find iron or anything like that. That's really hard to find. And I'm going to actually show you a couple different resources that are a little tricky. Okay, so the first resource is the red flower. The red flower is probably the most common one you'll see. You get turtle grass and just all kinds of different herbs from it. It's still really useful for potions and stuff, so definitely get it. The next one you're going to find is actually the one that's a little tricky. It is that mushroom that you just saw in that tree right there. It's not those brown mushrooms. It's the darker red mushroom. And you definitely want to collect these. You can get, I think, 2 different kinds of mushrooms off of them. But let me know in the comment section if I'm a little off on that. Okay, guys, so another resource that you wouldn't probably think is a resource, but it is those goats right over there. Now, these goats, no worries, if you kill them, they will just get right back up, but they do drop hides. And those are actually useful for armor. As you can see, I just got an Aether hide. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that right in the comment section down below. Also, I do have a question for anybody. I have not figured this out yet, but as you can see, 2 things dropped, but you cannot pick the second item. I've tried multiple times. Let me know if anybody knows like what that is, because I'm really curious. Maybe it's just a glitch, but I'm not really sure. Also, if you check right down here, you can see that there's some iron. You can also collect hematite, I do believe, from this as well, but usually it's just iron, and that's the stuff you want anyway. Okay, guys, so now we're going to start the more combat-oriented stuff, starting off with the compass. Now, as you can see up above, there's nothing there yet. I go and I shoot my flare, and boom, there's a white flag. That white flag will let me and my teammates know exactly where I shot the flare up at, and it's a great way to let people know, hey, here's the behemoth, let's go after him. You can also use it for resources as well, and it does regenerate. So, spam it. I actually use it for flare. But enough joking. Let's get to some battle tips. The first one is to use caution. This guy can do some heavy damage to you. You do not want him to hit you too much. You do have a limited amount of healing you can do. With the team, it's not as bad, but solo is definitely a lot harder. The next thing you want to really make sure is to get his tail cut off as soon as possible. He actually attacks mostly with his tail, and his tail does a lot of damage. If you can focus on that tail, especially if you're a scythe character, you can really help your team out by taking away most of his deadly attacks. Especially that flip you keep seeing him do, it's nothing without his tail. It's barely half the reach. As you can see right there, we're just solely focusing on that tail, and it should come off pretty soon. Another thing to watch out for too is that dread form, the red form. When he turns red, he gets super aggressive, guys. But you still want to keep up on that tail, because I'm telling you, you take that tail off, he's going to be a lot easier. And as you can see, we got the tail off right there. Now he's growling at us. He's not too happy. He's one angry beaver. But as you can see, his flip attack is nearly not as dangerous as it used to be. You can actually be a lot closer to him. And now he's going to start trying to run away. Now the next thing I want you guys to pay attention to is the transition right here. That is one of the points when he's the most vulnerable. Attack him while he's transforming and you can get some serious damage in on him without him being able to retaliate. Okay guys, the other thing I wanted to let you guys know about was his stomp attacks. Now in the blue form he can do one on each side, but in the red form he can actually do multiple. And you do not want to get caught in the red form stomps, they are not fun. I'm going to show you a couple other of his attacks in a row. Okay, so we have examples right here. There's a single stomp, he charges forward, which is a very popular move that he likes to use. And flip attack, which he can still do in his tailless form, but it's not as strong. And he can do all of these things actually in the red form as well. The other thing here is another charge forward attack. As you can see here, there's a multiple stomp attack as well that he uses to transform into his red form. Back up, do not get hit by this. It is not fun, it will do a lot of damage to you. You can kind of predict it pretty well too. And like I said, he can also do some flip attacks. Now as you see here, he charges forward and then I hit him in the head, which actually stuns him. This is pretty useful to get a bunch of extra damage on him, as well as cutting his tail off. The Scythe characters are also really good for this just because of how fast they can attack. Okay, so we have some more examples of him doing his stomp attack. Just the best way to defend against that is to back up. You can action roll like I just did right there, out of the way. You just want to constantly hit him in the face basically. As he flips, go in for the attack. Wait for him to flip. Honestly, that flip attack's really easy to dodge. You can even actually attack him while he's doing it. And there you go, is the second type of stun there too. You can knock him over by just hitting him in the side enough. You can also jump without taking damage. Here's a good example of that. Okay guys, next tip is heal your teammates. There's an item that you can use in your defense slot that causes a ring around you that can also heal your teammates. Using this in conjunction with other healing items can really boost your healing pretty fast and keep you alive. Okay guys, my last tip is use those flares. Spice up the battlefield by showing your emblem to everybody and helping your teammates find your locations. It's pretty fun. Okay guys, so that's going to be it for the tips. I promise you if you follow these tips, you'll defeat your Gnasher. You'll show off in front of your team and not look so noobish. Now I'm going to actually show you some of the items that you also get. And shout out to Vazzy Bastion. Player of the match, he really pulled ahead with those scythes. Well, that's going to be it for today, guys. I'm going to show you right now some items that you can get from completing the quest. Just to show you an idea of what you can acquire. It's going to be different though each time. And you usually do get an Aether Core. I hope that these tips really help you guys out on your hunts. If there's anything I missed, or any tips that you might want to share with everybody, let us know down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear anything you guys have to say about Dauntless, to be honest with you. I think it's a really fun game, and I hope that it goes places. Wish me luck on this. Ooh, we got 2 items. Man, I hope these are good. Well, that's it, guys. See you next time.